this edition of RPPV News. More political intrigue. Our weather feels more far north than Ninch. And we farewell an RPPV icon. Hello, I'm Catie Sharp. Welcome to the first 2022 edition of RPPV News, bringing you stories from across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula. We're back after a summer break, and 2022 is looking suspiciously like 2021, with COVID-19 hogging the headlines. What is different is that the vast majority of Victorians are now vaccinated, and the latest strain of the virus is the highly contagious but luckily milder Omicron. This means that while there are now 700 active cases on the Mornington Peninsula and 511 in Frankston, mortality figures are significantly lower than they would have been a year ago. Most people are now due their booster shots, so be sure to get yours and keep yourself and our more vulnerable members of the community safe. COVID has also claimed a budding political career. Claire Boardman, representing independent group Voices of Mornington Peninsula, has withdrawn as a candidate. Claire is a Victorian Deputy Public Health Commander. With rising Omicron numbers and the pressure this is putting on the public hospital system, Claire has decided she must prioritise her public health role for the time being. This means the group will now consider other suitable candidates to contest the federal seat of Flinders. Meanwhile, Chris Cruther, the Liberal candidate for Mornington at this year's Victorian election, told RPPFM the advent of the independent vote has sharpened his focus.
And we need to connect with the various people right across the electorate, whether they're retirees or whether they're people needing transport services, to connect to the community or jobs or school. And we need to look after our younger people as well and give them opportunities in life. And I think that's really for me, that's what the Liberal Party stands for. It's the party of opportunity, aspiration, hope, and that reward for effort. And I strongly believe in equality of opportunity and creating that for people irrespective of their background, where they're from, their socioeconomic status. And that's the reason I recently got involved in politics in the first place.
La Niña made itself felt this week when severe thunderstorm activity and rain events swept across the peninsula. Some parts, including Sorrento, Rye and the hinterland, were deluged, with reports of local flooding and very tropical conditions. The Bureau says similar conditions are expected to continue, which means our kids will be carrying both sunscreen and umbrellas when they return to school this week. Our councils have announced their 2022 Citizens of the Year. Citizen of the Year for the Mornington Peninsula is Dirk Jansen, President of the Mornington Peninsula Koala Conservation Group. Dirk was commended for his tireless efforts to create habitat corridors for the endangered koala population on our peninsula. We are delighted to be able to speak to Dirk now. Firstly, congratulations on winning the Citizen of the Year award. How did you feel when you found out?
Well, I was surprised and shocked and all of that. I did not expect this, and the people that nominated me kept it very, very quiet around me, so I had no idea.
That's gorgeous. Good on them. And what led you to begin the Mornington Peninsula Koala Conservation Group?
Yeah, look, probably about 5 years ago, I love nature, love the environment. I'm endlessly fascinated by it. And 5 years ago, I was really depressed with the state of the world, and moved down to Rosebud and realized that we had koalas almost in our backyard up in Arthur Seat State Park, and was starting to get interested what is happening to them down here, and if they are safe, and if there's a decline of the population, and no one actually knew. So I started a Facebook group and realized very quickly that people from all over the Mornington Peninsula, from Mount Eliza, Langwarrin, down to Summers and Flinders, everyone was saying the same thing. We used to see more of them, and now we don't see them anymore.
Absolutely.
Very rarely. So, and that sort of sparked my interest. And we then became, the following year in 2019, became a land care group so that we could actually apply for funding and sort of formalize as a community group. And that's been a really interesting journey the last few years.
It sounds like you filled a niche that very much needed to be filled. Well done.
Thanks.
So what does your group do specifically?
So there's two key aspects. One is just to raise awareness in the community, so especially because more than 70% of koala habitat is on private property, so it's not as easy as just saying the council or Parks Victoria need to do more. It's private property, so even just surveying koala population, the koala population is really difficult because you can't just access people's properties to do that. And almost, 2/3 of or more than 2/3 of habitat is all locked away on private property. And also controlling vegetation removal on private land is obviously really, really difficult. So one thing is just to raise awareness and to really bring the community together, because it'll be a community effort to save them. And secondly, is just simply planting trees and improving habitats. So we've got a fairly large project on the way, started 2 years ago, and it's at least running for 5 years, but I'm assuming a lot longer, to just plant or reinstate native vegetation on mostly private property as much as possible.
Oh, that's fantastic. And what was the response to you receiving the award?
Oh, look, it's been massive, actually. From I work at Monash University, and somehow my work colleagues found out as well. So I've been been dealing with that yesterday and today. But generally, the response has been great. And it sort of mirrors actually the response to our project. The community response has just been outstanding. So everyone has been very, very supportive of what we're doing. There's many people that want to be involved in our group per se. So we've got more than 300 members now in our group, but also many landholders that ask us for advice or want some free trees, or want our help in actually planting native vegetation back onto their land. So the response has been fantastic.
That's brilliant. I think it's one of those things that everyone had a hand. They all wanted to be involved in, but they just needed someone to lead them there. So it's fantastic that you've been on top of this. Absolutely brilliant. And one last question. How did you celebrate?
We actually just went to my partner's family, and we had a barbecue in the end, which was nice to relax after, all that attention and giving a speech and all of this. I could celebrate a little bit. And look, even with our group, some of our group members actually attended the ceremony, which was nice, and that was a great afternoon.
Oh, fantastic. And you can only hope that the attention, whether or not you enjoy it, it will bring attention to your cause. That's just fantastic.
Yes, definitely. It's not about me, it's about the cause.
Absolutely. Put up with the attention as much as you can.
That's right.
Congratulations again, Dirk. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kate. Appreciate it.
The project will create a wildlife corridor and biolinks extending from Summers to Red Hill. So far, over 20,000 trees have been planted by the group and other volunteers, and Dirk has secured around $80,000 in grants. He has collaborated with local groups and landowners and given numerous talks to schools and community groups. The Peninsula's Young Citizen of the Year is RPPV's very own Ollie Walker-Peel. Ollie completed Year 12 at Balcombe Grammar last year and was school captain. He is a self-confessed sports tragic who started commentating with the Mornington Soccer Club before becoming part of the RPPFM sport team, commentating on Aussie rules football and cricket. Through the pandemic, Ollie spearheaded a resilience message for young people, modelling a positive belief that everyone counts and everyone can make a difference. We spoke to him about his award.
Being recognised is just purely a bonus. Obviously, it is really nice to get the recognition, but that's obviously not the reason why you do it. To get the recognition, by the Peninsula, it's such a great area that's been, given so much to me. So the fact that I've been able to give back is something that it's very easy to do, and I'm very happy to be able to do it. It's one of those where, you just try and go out in the community every day and make a difference. And fortunately, I've been able to do that.
Over in Frankston, their Citizen of the Year is Trudy Poole, a tireless volunteer for the homeless and treasurer of Frankston Rotary. A special and well-deserved community award was presented to all Peninsula Health frontline workers for their service to the community during the pandemic. A gateway of pearls is welcoming visitors to the Peninsula after a new sculpture was installed this week on the Peninsula Link Freeway. The sculpture, by Dutch-born local Manon van Kaarsbeek, replaces Michael Riddle's iconoclast, which was at the Sky Road exit ramp. Comprising over 30 large spheres suspended at different heights between 4 to 10 metres, the formation of pearls appears to change in an optical illusion as motorists drive past. The ongoing program of sculptures along the Peninsula Link is part of a 25-year partnership with Southern Way and McClelland Sculpture Park and Gallery, with 14 works in total to be displayed until 2037. After 4 years on display, the artworks are moved to McClelland's 16-hectare sculpture park, where they become part of the permanent collection. McClelland director Lisa Byrne said Peninsula Pearls will mark a fitting welcome to the peninsula, which for many is a jewel in Melbourne's crown. And the RPPV family was saddened by the news that long-time presenter Judy Banks-Phillips passed away last week after a long illness. Judy had a long career in television as a presenter, singer and children's TV host. She married TV producer Bob Phillips and moved to the Mornington Peninsula. For over 20 years, she and Bob presented the Sugar and Spice show on RPPFN, building a strong and loyal fan base who loved the irreverent hilarity Judy brought to the program. We will miss Judy's effervescent personality, her professionalism and her kindness. Our hearts go out to Bob and the family. After the break, we go to Patricia with the coming week's weather report.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks. But there's another big bank snapping at their heels. It's been around for over 160 years, has 1.9 million customers nationwide who bank in branch, online or with their mobile app, and is regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Who is this bank that has everyone's attention? Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
Established in 1988, Progress Signs has been servicing the local community for 30 years. Located on the Mornington Peninsula, they are the #1 destination for all your signage needs, specialising in a variety of signage from vehicles to shop fronts, occasional and corporate events, short-term, long-term and everything in between. If it's signs you need, be it large or small, Progress Signs is the place to call. Available 24/7 at progress-signs.com.au or call the team on 5975 9188. Thinking signs? Think Progress Signs, a station sponsor.
Hello and Happy New Year. I am Patricia, back with the RPP weather report for 2022. Today we are in Mount Eliza, where it doesn't seem so summery at all after a week of a mini heat wave bringing peninsula temperatures into the high 30s for several days, not to mention those humid nights. We have now entered a cooler wet period, and let's see what's ahead. Today, Saturday the 29th of January, brought us a cloudy day with a shower or two during the morning. Although cloudy, the UV index reached an extreme high of 11 today and will do again tomorrow. The UV index will remain high throughout the rest of the week, so sun protection is highly recommended. Today we reached a top of 25 with a low of 18. Sunday sees much the same, humid and cloudy, as we continue to experience that pressure system pushing down from Central Australia. We will continue to feel these very tropical-like weather patterns. We should see a high of 27 and a low of 18. Monday sees a little bit more sun as we experience a partly cloudy day. Expect a high of 28 and a low of 19. Tuesday, the 1st of February, sees another overcast day, bringing a shower or two. We should reach a high of 27 and a low of 19. Wednesday sees the temperatures drop as the cloud cover increases. It brings more rain. Expect a high of 22 and a low of 14. Thursday brings a partially cloudy day with just a chance of rain. We should see a top of 23 and another low of 14. And lastly, Friday should be a partly cloudy day with a top of 25 and a low of 14. Well, that's all for this week. It's great to be back for another year on RPPV, and it's good to have you all back with us. And as always, I wish you all the very best week, and remember to take good care of yourselves and of each other.
And now to our surf guru Muzz with the local surf report.
Hey guys, it's Muzz back here with this year's 2022 surf report. First one for the Mornington Peninsula this year. I know it's the end of Jan. Week in front of us, we look like we're finally going to get a swell. So it's going to start coming through on Sunday. Winds aren't going to be great, going to be south-southeast. But as the week progresses, Monday, especially Tuesday, looks like there's a good opportunity before the front comes through. The wind will be northwest, and there'll be a fairly decent size swell. I mean, decent size, might be 2 foot most important, maybe 3-4 foot at Flinders, and maybe bigger on the beaches. It's been a pretty average start to the year. A lot of easterlies. Again, the easterlies are raging. Swells have been small, wind swells. So if you haven't been surfing, haven't missed much. Water's warm, bit of sea life around, and still a great time to get in the surf. Everyone's gone back to school this week, so enjoy and get in the water.
And that's all from our team here at RPP News, serving the community with stories that matter to you. Keep watching and do tell your friends. Bringing you the news from coast to coast across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula, I'm Catie Sharp. See you for the next edition.